Alright, I've opened that same title block that I used, where I'd already gone in and set the dim style and the layers and all that in there. So this is the same layer. I've done all, remember I did all the work for problem 11, now we're going to do problem 12. Save as, and I'm going to say this one is problem number 12. It's number 12, Stone Reservoir. Retaining wall, Stone Reservoir. Okay, I will call it Stone Reservoir for right now. Okay. So I've saved it, and then I hit my save time after I did my save as and set it to 5, so it automatically saves. All right, let's just start drawing, and I'm going to just start drawing by drawing the ground. I'm just going to draw a line here across F8 to make it nice and horizontal. There it goes. Not really worried about it. Okay, I'm going to change it now to visible because I'm going to get a rectangular box. So I look at it and I go, okay, well I know that the box says it starts at 9 inches from that, so 9. Just to give me a starting point. And if you're not sure if it's actually 9, remember you can quickly dimension it just to check and see. And see it is 9, so we're good. Okay, visible. Draw a rectangle. I'm just going to pick a spot. I don't know, I'm just going to pick here. It doesn't really matter. And this is the same thing I would normally do. So I'm going to tell dimensions again, D for dimensions, because I know how wide it needs to be. So if I look at the measurements, wide by 9, and then it's 4 feet 6 inches long. So, or oh, that's the hang on. Yeah, length, and then 4.69. So that'd be 48.54. And move the mouse down and click. And now I can erase this because I no longer need it because it was just there for a point of reference for me for right now. And I really don't have to turn this right now, but I'm just doing it to make it a little easier for you to see. Okay, so the next I have the line that goes over, and then it's going to go over 3 feet 9 inches. So 3 times 12 is 36 plus 9 is 45. Oh no, why did it do that? Well, because we drew it as a rectangle and you have to explode it, remember? So a lot of these tools, they're the same stuff, same steps. You're just repeating and practicing using them and getting a little more advanced as we go. Okay, so 45. There we go. And it says it's 9 inches from that spot. And then it's 2 feet 3 inches, so that's 27 inches from here over. And I know it's up 9 and 9. I know that that's up 9 and then up 11 from there. So I could have left that there, the one that I just deleted, but I'm going to place it up here, and then up 11 from there. Get my extend tool. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and trim this part here anyways. Trim, spacebar, go away, away, go away. Alright, and it says the overall distance from that corner down is 3.9, so 3 times 12 is 36 plus that, plus 9, 36, that would be 36 plus 9 is 45. And now that I no longer need that, I'm going to delete those because I was just using those so that I could get references so that I could build it. Okay, and then it says to come over 2 feet 3 inches, so coming over 27 inches. just so I can find where that ends. And I'm actually going to turn that to the hatch layer because I am going to keep that. So point of reference, okay. And I just zoomed out so that I could grab the node editors and pull this out some more. Okay, now let's zoom in, pan a little bit. All right, so the next one says it comes down from the edge 1 feet 6 inches. So from here, from this edge down, it's going to come down 18 inches. And then that one's going to come down from that 3 feet to 36 inches. And I'm literally just going to draw a quick line so that I can extend to it. Because I know I'm going to do some trimming and all that here in a minute, but just to make it a little easier for me right now. So that one's going to become earth. And this one's going to become part of the gravel. So I'm changing it to those layers to make it a little easier for me. All right, I know that it comes in 6 feet, so 6 times 12 is 72. And then from that corner there, the line comes back at 130 degrees. So line, corner, and this is one of those times where, you know, having the ortho one is not your friend, so F8 to turn it off. And dynamic input is our friend because you can see where it has like the distance in the 137. So I'm just going to randomly pick a distance and I'm going to hit the tab key and I'm going to type in 130 and hit enter. That's all it took. Now it's just a matter of going to my trim tool and trimming. Actually, I don't need to keep that, so I can just erase that. Just like I don't need to keep this part right here or this part here. And just because it's green doesn't mean it's the right layer, so make sure you put it on that gravel layer. All right. Now, just like I did before, I'm going to need some boxes here because I'm going to have to look and realize I'm going to have to do some dimensioning. And again, if they're in the wrong place, we can move them around, but I'm going to look at this and guess where I think this box is going to go. Before I do the hatching. So let's go ahead and change it to the gravel layer. And hatch, and again, go find that gravel, just like we did previously. And what we're going to have to play with is the scale, because you don't ever know until I come and click. Cancel. Let's change that to 10. That looks much better, yes. Now, to get to this last part here, I'm going to have to draw a spline. I probably should have already done that, because it's just a short break. Doesn't really particularly matter as long as we have got our 3 feet 4, because we're told that's where the end of it is. So let's just make sure. So 36, that'd be 40. Oops, see, not quite. So pay attention. If you're told it's supposed to be do something, make sure that it is that, and don't just assume that it is. There it goes. And I gotta trim it again because the darn thing extended to the inside. Trim, spacebar. There it goes. Now I'm going to draw a spline that hits there. It has to start here because that's what it says in the dimensioning, and then it just comes however I really feel like drawing it. Doesn't really particularly matter, just so long as we have a spline. Trim, spacebar, ding your head. Get rid of that. Okay, and then this one's going to be earth. Hatch with the earth. Come on, drop down. There it goes. So it's saying it's not closed. There's gaps somewhere in here for something. And usually it'll give you like a little red or a highlighter. It'll tell you where those gaps are at. Okay, all I did was try doing the extend tool, and I'm going to try again. Might be outside of the display area. Something is off. What is off? We've trimmed to that. Oh, well, we know that's a closed one. I wasn't trying to do that. I wasn't trying to click in there. Ah, there it is. Or at least that's what it's telling me. It's telling me that right there is where we have part of our problem. Extend, spacebar. Okay, now I know it came over it. Now I'm going to trim it again. And let's try to hatch now. And it still says, does it give me any hints for any other spots? Sometimes it just does the weirdest things. So, no, it sounds weird, even though we know we just tested it. And we know we trimmed it, and we know they shall fit. And we know there shouldn't be any problems. I'm just extending them all out because I can always trim and erase. Okay, let's see what happens if we try to do it now. Something is still off. Whoa, escape. No, don't do that in there. No, 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 no. Again. So sometimes you have to extend and trim multiple times to get it right. I know it came out to there, so now let's try it again. There it goes. So apparently it was open just up here in this very tip-top corner and over here in another spot. So okay, that looks good. And now we erase and of course trim and get rid of, make it look like it was supposed to look in the first place. So if you find that you've had that problem happens to you, don't give up. Just keep doing it until we get it fixed. Okay, next I'm going to show you how to dimension this sucker. It's one of those, so it doesn't pick on just me. So I'm going to show you how to finish hatching and how to do all the dimensioning and pull it into the viewport.